Title IX is federal law, and this lawsuit is essentially asking a judge to determine who is interpreting the law correctly, the Trump administration or the state of Maine. The lawsuit is asking the judge to declare how the law should be interpreted and then direct Maine to follow that interpretation. We spoke with a former attorney to get some more insight. So it sounds like here's where we get stuck. We have Title IX as federal law. We have the state of Maine saying, we have our own state human rights act that not only does not agree with the president's executive order, but disagrees with the federal government's current interpretation of Title IX?
Yes.
Is that kind of where,
that's right. You start with the basic proposition that we learn in law school, which is federal law trumps state law. When there's a conflict between federal law and state law, with a few minor exceptions, the federal law prevails because we all are part of the country. That begs the question here is, what is the federal law? Congress has passed Title IX, and that question is, what does Title IX say about this situation? Now, the Trump administration they believe that Title IX means that trans athletes cannot compete against female athletes. That view of Title IX has never been adopted by a court. So as far as the state of Maine is concerned, they don't have the right to interpret Title IX. Courts interpret Title IX. Now, a court could agree with the Trump administration, but at this point, no court has yet adopted that interpretation. And so the state is justified in relying on state law because there's no conflict between state and federal law at the moment. It would only be if the Trump administration prevailed that you would have a conflict between state and federal law.
Harwood tells me that the judge's ruling equates to that judge's interpretation of Title IX. Now, if the judge agrees with the Trump administration's interpretation, the judge will essentially be saying that the Maine Human Rights Act goes too far. At the end, either side can appeal and the case can work its way through the appellate courts. But Harwood said there's no guarantee that the Supreme Court would ever hear any arguments.